Welcome back to Farm and Ham, everyone. Today is the first sunny and dry day we've had in almost a week. So I thought it'd be a good day to show off the new farm machine. As you guys have seen, my dad has a Polaris Ranger. That's what I do a lot of the chores on the farm with. But with the new rental property being further away from the home farm, I needed something that was road legal, had four-wheel drive, and didn't break the bank. After a month or so of shopping, I ended up coming home with this. As you can see, this is a Chevy Tracker. This is a 1993. This one does have a 2-inch lift. It's got 31s on it. So some work has already been done to it. The fenders, I need to pull them off because the tires do rub just a little bit. But I'll show you the inside here. Obviously this is an old machine. The guy that I bought it from, he just used it on trails in Arkansas and stuff. So this is mostly just for crawling up rocks and rough terrain. Just a fun vehicle for him. He didn't need it anymore. He was buying a Jeep. So anyway, so this is a 5-speed manual. We've got the 8-ball 8-ball shifter there. Radio's ripped out. Heat and air do not work, so I'm gonna have to get that going before next winter. And this thing's only got 127,000 miles on it. I've seen a lot of these listed for sale, and there's a lot that have close to 200,000 miles or well over 200,000 miles. So I think this machine does have a lot of life left if I can keep her going. But yes, it is 4-wheel drive. Right now it doesn't work because I have to put a new CV axle on. But yeah, 4-wheel drive, we'll get that going here soon. And then coming to the back, which is the main reason I need this thing. I'm hauling feed and who knows what else in the back of this thing. It did come with a seat. I pulled that out. There's the floor. It's basically just a little mini truck bed back here. And right now there's a giant hole in the back. So that's one of the first things I'm gonna have to work on. I'm gonna weld a whole new piece of sheet metal in here. They had cut a hole out to put a new tank in and mess with some wiring. So yeah, I've gotta replace that piece there, and then I'll be welding a new sheet over the top of this. So yeah, it serves its purpose right now. I'm just loading feed back here, as you can tell. Drive to the rental farm, feed the stocker calves, head home, and haven't been stuck yet, so it's been working nicely. You can also tell this is a soft top, so this whole portion will come off. The roof will come off, and I'm probably gonna pull the doors off eventually. So it'll be just basically a little side-by-side. So for those of you that are unfamiliar with the Chevy Tracker, these would be the exact same things as a Suzuki Sidekick. Suzuki made all of them, I believe, and then Geo just stuck their stuff on them. Yeah, these things only weigh about 2,000 pounds. But yeah, when you've got a really light vehicle like this, that's super short, and it's got 4-wheel drive, you don't really have to worry about getting stuck anywhere. So I went and looked at brand new 4-wheelers. I went to the Honda dealership, and the one I was wanting, it was gonna be about 7,800, about 8,000 bucks, and they weren't gonna get it in until May. And I really didn't wanna wait that long because obviously it's pretty much spring right now. We're getting so much rain, it's hard to drive a truck out in the field, so I needed something as soon as possible. And I had been looking at these for the last couple months just to use as a little farm truck, and once I got the estimate on the Honda 4-wheeler, this was kind of a no-brainer option at that point. So yes, it's slightly bigger than a 4-wheeler, it's slightly bigger than a side-by-side, but it has heat, air. Once I get it installed, it'll have a radio. It's still 4-wheel drive. You can pretty much take it anywhere a side-by-side or a 4-wheeler could go. And you can also take it on the road. So this one is road legal. I did get it inspected, and it's good to go. So I have been driving this on the road and no issue so far. One thing about it though, its top speed is about 60 miles an hour. You might be able to go 65 if you put the pedal to the floor, but don't expect to go super quick in this little thing. So like I said, it's pretty much just as capable as a 4-wheeler or side-by-side. You've got a little more capacity back here in the bed. And then the real benefit of buying this thing was a little over 3,000. So yes, it is 30 years old. It does have some issues, but the other benefit of this thing, I can work on any of this myself. There's videos all over YouTube of people fixing these things up. Any part you need to replace, you can find a video on it. Side-by-sides and four-wheelers, those can be a little more tricky to work on yourself. This thing, you can open up the hood and you can see clear to the ground. There's not a whole lot to them. So they still carry parts for them. They're readily available and they're pretty cheap to fix. So anyway, let's get this thing started up and we'll go put it to use. We'll go check some cows. As you guys know, it is calving season. We've had quite a few calves born since the last time you saw me. So we'll do some cow checking, see if there's any getting close today. Yeah, I'll show you what this thing is capable of. One thing it does have is this giant key. I guess I forgot how big these old car keys are. Take her through some mud right here. Second, and we're off. This is one of my Holstein Angus cross cows, and there's her bull calf. One of the very few bull calves we've had this year. Almost all of them have been heifers, which is, I don't know. I guess it'd be a good thing if I was wanting to keep heifers, but I'm not really wanting to right now. Go see if we can find some other young ones. Pretty much all the fall calving cows were in this field. The new calves and their mothers stayed back, and they're in this field where I fed hay this morning. I used to have a little Audi TT. It was a little 5-speed standard turbo. It was the first car I'd ever bought. I spent 3,200 bucks on it. It was ridiculously fun to drive. And now that I've got this thing again, I forgot how much I like driving a standard. This obviously isn't as quick as the Audi, but it is still a convertible, and it's 5-speed, so we're kind of close. This was the first one born. You saw it. It was born the same day the twins were, and I'll show you the twins here in a bit. This is a Holstein cross. This is a new calf you haven't seen. This one was born yesterday morning. Of course, that's also one of my Holstein cross cows. That's an older one you've seen. We can go up here and take a look at one of the other Holstein cross calves. This is a new one, a little heifer, and she's got a lot of white on her. There's another one you haven't seen, another heifer there, out of a Holstein cross. The last couple of years, the Holstein crosses have pretty much just had black baldy calves. I've had a couple red white face, but they've mostly been solid black, maybe a couple with short white socks on them. But this year I've had a lot of these Holstein cross cows have calves with really high white socks on them. So I'm not sure which bull they came out of, but those don't sell as well, even though they're the exact same calves. But those white socks, just buyers don't like them as much for some reason. Here's a new calf born yesterday. This is out of a second timer here. And I really like this cow. She's built like a tank, and had the perfect size calf for her, and had a little heifer calf. So another heifer, probably my favorite pair of the year so far. She's just super well built, has the perfect amount of milk, and she raised a heck of a calf last year. So we'll see how this heifer does. Then we've got this one. She had a calf a day or two ago. Can't really remember. I think that's the day my dad fed. She had a little red white face heifer. Anyway, enough playing around out here. I think you saw all the new ones in this group. And next I'm gonna head to the actual spring calving group. We've had quite a few born out there in the last week, so I'll show you all the new ones there, then show you the twins, and then take this thing for a little joyride through the woods. All right, made it out to the second group of cows, and I'll be honest, there's been so many calves out here I don't know which ones I've already showed you. So we'll just start from the beginning. There's one of the older ones. I'm not sure if you've seen her yet. Another heifer calf, that's her mother there. Here's one of my Holstein crosses. She had a solid black bull. There's a little heifer you haven't seen. There is a little bull that you haven't seen. That one was born yesterday. I know exactly which bull this one's out of because it looks identical. So, and this cow here, she probably only weighs 900 pounds. So she's a small cow, but she always raises a decent calf for us, so she'll stick around as long as she can. Here is a Holstein cross. You can see, once again, the white socks. Seems like it's higher up on their legs than it ever has been, so getting a lot of white socks this year. All right, we got another one here. That one with the white socks is out of a Holstein cross. The black bull calf there is out of this beef cow. This cow here is actually one of my pets. Of course, she's going to chase her calf around. This is the one that lost her calf last year, and we stuck a new calf on her for her to raise. So she adopted a calf last year. Hers died at like 3 months old, and she still took a newborn calf. So she's going to stick around even though her calf died of poisoning. But anyway, these two bull calves, happy with them. They're probably the stockiest calves we've had so far. I showed you that one already. Here's one of the oldest ones, so I know you've seen her. There's one that's a day or two old. This one was born yesterday. I wish every calf I had these markings. I just like a little white on the face, maybe a little white around the nose. I know a lot of people like a solid black baldy there, but I kind of like the mottle-faced calves. Then we've got this pair here that you haven't seen. This calf was born massive. He's 3 days old and just a brute. Probably weighs 85, 90 pounds when he was born. Just a big old calf, and that cow is probably 1,100 pounds. So she's not a big cow, but she had a monster calf. That one there is the oldest Beefmaster cross. You can see that young one is just as big as she is, and she's over a month old. There's a new baby I don't think you've seen out of that cow there. There's one of the older Beefmaster crosses again. Then there's two more down there. The cows are taking them away. So anyway, I think you get the idea. We've had quite a few calves in this group, and they may actually finish their calving season in less than 45 days if we keep this up. So these were all preg checked, so we did know they were all bred, but I did not expect them to calve all within 2-3 weeks. All right, here's the cow and her twins. You can see she has lost a lot of weight since you saw her last. I think she's got something else going on besides just feeding twins, because yeah, she's losing weight pretty bad, and we've been giving her grain pretty hard. So anyway, I'm gonna dumped her a little feed there. And you can see we've got her all by herself out in this pasture. But the two little girls are doing just fine here. She's got enough milk. Both of them are pretty satisfied right now. But as they start getting older, she may not have enough for them. Anyway, yep, these are the two little heifer calves. Pulled the black one. If you missed the video, pulled the black one. She'd already had the red one. And she couldn't get up after she had the red one. So pulled the black one, she stood up shortly after, and calves are off to a good start. All right, y'all, let's get this thing going. In second gear, I'm not sure how fast I'm going to be able to take some of these trails, but we're going to find out. That was a tight squeeze.